empathy is different from compassion in a few different ways. First of all, compassion has roots that can be seen as having been problematic because compassion was really about applying our own perspective on what might help another person and then acting on that. Empathy starts and centers, and this is really key, it foregrounds the process of coming to understand another's experiences before we act. And in that way, empathy can be a lot more powerful in terms of how we support one another. And then that way, you can also see how empathy and allyship really go hand in hand, because it's really about what's meaningful in supporting another person through understanding what's best through them, for them, through their own articulation of what they need. So the first thing is that empathy and compassion are unique, and it's really empathy that's been studied in the workplace and more broadly. The other thing is that empathy requires us, and this is again why I really center this idea of practice. Empathy requires us to be present, to be in connection with another person, and to be in resonance with another person. So really allowing ourselves to settle into meaningful interaction and dialogue with another person. And in order to do that, we need to have a level of calm, a level of presence, and a level of the way that I will almost say it is like our best selves in the room. We need to have our best selves. Some people say our higher selves, that kind of thing, but we need to have our best selves in the room in that interaction with another person. And so what empathy is not then is what many of us have been taught, which is caretaking. And sometimes in the world, we hear the word like fawning or caretaking or giving too much of ourselves. Empathy is not about rescuing another person. It's not about compromising our own beliefs. It's not about selling ourselves out. It's not about pushing through our own values, being disregarded in order to show up for another person. It's not about having our boundaries pushed in a way that's uncomfortable or unfair either. Empathy requires us to have that level of like regulation, is the language that I would use, like presence, scientifically our prefrontal cortex, the seat of our empathy, the seat of our problem solving, seat of our emotional regulation online. And so we aren't rescuing or reflexively rescuing another person. We are staying present to what's going on in our inner world in order to hold space for another person.